Hey, welcome to another video. Uh, as I had mentioned earlier, there was another female hero for this week, and that female hero is the Warrior Woman. So, again, with this hero, I didn't have a lot in mind for like what she would look like or anything like that. This was one of those heroes that really it was just kind of the name that came to me first. I was just like, what to call it? And, once again, kind of going along with the naming context that I've kind of developed where I wanted it to kind of have a little bit of a same letter for both the beginning and the second part of the name. So warrior starts with a W and woman starts with a W. So that was just kind of one of the ideas that came to my mind. Um, in essence, a lot of this could be, skewed as a ripoff from Wonder Woman. Uh, this one, I would categorize this character though as a little more on the barbaric side rather than whereas Wonder Woman is more of a hero. This one was more of a warrior, but once again, one can make an argument that Amazons are the warrior people and stuff like that. But to be honest, not a whole lot from this hero. I would have to say is a ripoff from Wonder Woman. Um, but anyway, with this hero, when I drew her, it was just kind of once again she was kind of leaning a little more towards the kind of the hydrogen hero kind of idea, where it was like, I got a lot of stuff I got to get done today in the office, and I don't have time to sit and really refine out the look of the character or anything like that. And so yeah, she was just kind of a rushed doodle, and really the only thing that made this character was just her name. So when I was kind of looking a little bit more at when I was redesigning this character, though, I was beginning to take a little more inspiration from like Jack Kirby and some of the characters he developed, most specifically a character he called Big Barda. In one of his comics that he did, there was a character called Big Barda, and she was kind of a larger than life character, and very much a barbarian kind of a woman. So in the redesign of her, I took that as inspiration. So let's take a oops, sorry about that. So, wrong character. There we go. And so when I was redesigning this character, I took a lot of that into consideration. So, um, but yeah, in the original Doodle 2, I had just kind of really the only thing that you could tell that this was a female was obviously, her chest and then her hair. And so with that one, but with the hair, it was just kind of relegated to just this ponytail that came out of her helmet. And with that, I wanted to change that a little bit because, one of the key things that really helps, add some femininity to a character would be hair. And so with this one, I had still kind of that full helmet look, but I opened up the top so that more of the hair could be seen. When I was in school and stuff like that and doing character design, one of the professors that I had emphasized that, long hair really can help uh, a woman look very feminine. Once you start cutting off a lot of the hair, it starts hinging a little more on the masculine side rather than the feminine side. And so that was one of the things that I really wanted to change here with this, is just kind of showing a little more of the hair. And so I did do that a little bit more. Kept the axe. And now as I look back on it, I'm like, I wish I would have done something a little more alien, because this axe looks very like earth-based axe, wood, chains, and a metal. And I was like, you could have done cooler design with the axe. So potentially in the future, I may do a cooler axe design. But aside from that, I adjusted the helmet a little bit, added kind of, quote unquote horns from her helmet that, add a little more barbarian, more futuristic, because she is an alien. She is not from Earth. And as you can see with the blue skin, I did want to do something a little different and make her more alien-esque. And so I was just like, well, let's just do her blue. And I think that works well with kind of her golden armor that I gave her, a bit of a complementary, the little bit of the yellow-orange of the gold look helps with the blue skin, and the blue skin, obviously complements the golden armor. So, but yeah, it aside from that, not a whole lot from her character design really changed much. And when it came to her backstory and stuff like that, again, not a whole lot. I didn't have a whole lot. It was really just the name that came to me when I was, creating this character. And aside from that, not a whole lot else kind of came. So, and I'm trying to remember if I really added much in regards to her backstory or not. But yeah, so, looking at this redesign, the biggest thing, I was just like, the biggest missed opportunity, I think, was just the axe. I followed too closely to the original concept that I did, and I was just like, bummer, dude, you really could have did a little more with the axe. But, I might still do a little bit something here in the future as if I redo her or draw her or something like that. So, but yeah, let's take a look here at kind of her final look and appearance. So yeah, there is Warrior Woman. And yeah, let's get into her backstory and powers and abilities. So, Warrior Woman. On a distant planet in a star system along, on a distant planet in a star system along one of the arms of the Milky Way galaxy, many thousands of years ago, the Galaxy Guardian discovered one of the entry points to the Chaos Realm. Breaches into our reality. Discovered one of the entry points where the Chaos Realm breaches into our reality. So, the original Guardian of the Galaxy, or Galactic Guardian, was a being called Galaxy Guardian, and this hero discovered one of these entry points where the Chaos Realm had pierced into our reality. This unfortunate world had been ravaged, and only a small pocket of its original inhabitants had survived. Many of the males of the species had been captured and used by the Devoidians to produce eggs intended to infect other planets with Devoidians and tectonic titans. With their population reduced to only the surviving females, those who remained took it upon themselves to defend what was left of their race. Many underwent a powerful mystic ritual that amplified their natural abilities 100-fold. Warrior Woman was one of these elite guardians. After completing the ritual, she led her people back towards prosperity, even while facing the constant threat of the forces of chaos. Working alongside the Star Sorcerer and the Galaxy Guardian, she fought valiantly and ultimately succeeded in driving the Chaos Realm back through the portal, sealing it for good. So yeah, once again, this would have been in one of the distant arms of the Milky Way galaxy. And in one of these distant arms of the Milky Way galaxy, the Chaos Realm would have penetrated into our reality. And unfortunately, there was a planet nearby that was overtaken by this, the Chaos Realm, and the Devoidians and the tectonic titans and stuff. But unfortunately, they were able to fight it back and drive it back through and seal the portal. So, but this particular being's original name is Oya, and she stands nearly 12 feet tall and weighs 324 pounds. So, their race is significantly bigger and taller than humans. So, and with that comes, a lot of perks, I guess you could say. So after undergoing the mystical ritual, Oya, or Warrior Woman, became 1,000 times stronger than she had ever been before. Normally, a female from her planet would be able to lift 1 to 2 tons. And again, take note that this race of humanoids averages about 10 to 15 feet in height. So obviously a lot of their strength is attributed to just their overall size. But Oya was now capable of lifting nearly 3,000 tons. So she underwent this mystical ritual that increased her strength drastically. So She also gained increased speed, enhanced durability, and a fighting endurance that allowed her to perform at peak capacity for months. Oya was unique among her people as well. Her armor was imbued with magical energies as well. When wearing it, she was mystically protected from physical attacks, as well as extremely volatile environments she often fought in. So, both her and her armor have received, these mystical enchantments. So, but looking at her powers, obviously she's very durable, and this is partly in result to her armor. She's very strong. Her stamina is exceptionally high, being able to fight at peak performance for, many days, weeks, or even months. So she doesn't have really anything in the way of power projection. When it comes to intelligence, she'd be rated among just like normal humans. And when it comes to speed, she is pretty fast. But again, for something of her size, she, isn't. She's definitely not the space speedster. We'll put it that way, I guess. So, but anyway, so yeah, that was the second female hero for this week. So the warrior woman. So, but yeah, we will, I guess, in essence, catch you in the next video. So thanks for tuning in.